a workshop on cultivating human values for living the vision of oneness. This particular workshop is based on Indian philosophy, and it actually really is all about paradigm shift. If things that you know are reiterated in a more organized manner, then it's just kind of, reconfirming something that you know. But here we are using Indian philosophy to make you see something more than what you see. And because that is the case, because we are not aware of it, therefore there seems to be a confusion, because it makes us do a paradigm shift, right? So for example, the realities that we are talking about here are based on Indian philosophy, which are 6 realities. The first one we have seen so far, that the world is interconnected. Okay? Even though when we explain that, it seems to be quite, so the world is interconnected. But we are making you see the implications of that in your life, and how you can incorporate this reality into your living. So that's something which is very important. Then, having said that the world is interconnected, we are telling you that how is it interconnected? So it's interconnected through certain laws, laws of physics, laws of biology, laws of anatomy, physiology, psychology. These are all the laws which are already known to us. Okay? So if they are laws which are known to us through science, we don't need Indian philosophy. The value added of Indian philosophy comes because it makes us aware of certain other laws that we are not able to arrive at through scientific methods. If already we are arriving at through scientific methods, you don't need Indian philosophy. What's the value added? Okay? So it's making us aware of certain things which are otherwise not available. And that's where the whole value, the difficulty comes in, because it's not something that we already know and accept as a norm in our scientific society. Okay? Nor the thing is, when you talk about them, it's not just a belief. It's not we are asking you that there is this law of karma or there is this law and you have to just accept it because Indian philosophy is talking about it. Okay? We are making you see how it is so. So there is a leading process that makes you recognize that, hey, there is a law which you may not be ever be able to arrive at through scientific methods, but it is still there. Okay? So as we have seen, so there are techniques to lead you to discover that reality. Okay? So when we talk about the law of what brings you the result of the action, there is one law that which is there and we don't recognize, is what we call law of karma. That means the laws which govern the result of the action. In order for you to recognize the fact that there is a law which governs the result of the action, you all first need to understand that you are not the one who chooses the result of the action. You want a given result of the action, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll always get it. Okay? So what accounts for that result which is not in keeping with what you actually desire? Okay? So there is something which is much bigger than you, who's deciding the exact result at a given point in time. Okay? So this is something that you must understand, that there is a law. Neither you choose the result of the actions, nor the result of the actions are just random, they land up. There is an intricate law which connects the cause and effect, many past causes and effect, and produces a given outcome. Okay? So this is the first, the second module that we have seen, result of actions. Now the third module is that there is the law of what we say dharma. Dharma is universal ethical values. Now here again, There is a technique which leads you to see that, because how do I prove that there is a law? I cannot put it under a microscope and discover that, oh, there is a law of the dharma here. Okay? Nor, as Neeru was saying, people can understand law of gravity because when I drop this, it falls, right? It's instant kind of a thing that I can understand. The present workshop is about cultivating human values for living the vision of oneness. So we are basically the teachers of Vedanta, where we teach traditional Vedanta, which consists of Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, and we get a very positive feedback about the content of the teaching. But a lot of people say that why is it not more widely available to more people? Then we thought about how to take it to people, a normal public who may not be interested in studying Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad. So we came up with this interactive workshop where the content is very authentic. We keep all the principles of Indian philosophy, but we have tried to modernize in a way we deliver it, okay, and highlight a certain aspects of Indian philosophy which would be very useful to people in living their lives, which would enable them to make better decisions, make more responsible actions, deal with situations better, and also manage their emotions better. So these are the aspects that we have chosen, and the format chosen is also using case studies, using group discussions, using role plays, where modern techniques are used but the traditional teaching is kept, so that we can reach out to more and more people and we can help them live a better life. This particular workshop, this format goes on for, it's a 3-day, because if we are targeting busy executives, professionals, entrepreneurs, then we also recognize that it's difficult for them to take 10 days off, 15 days off. So it's a format where we are thinking of 3 days over the weekend and 1 more day, which is easily manageable by them.
Another very interesting element is that in addition to the new format we have created, this blend of new form and keeping the authenticity, we also somehow arrange the schedule in a manner that in the morning people wake up early and in a nice environment setting, nature setting, peaceful. And we start the day by some meditation, some yoga, some breathing exercises, and some meditative movements before even breakfast. And we try also within the day, at the break between sessions, to use this same principle of yoga to connect them back to their body and breathing, and come back to a more relaxed and centered level of themselves. And this forms the basis of a very favorable and conducive, let's say, mindset and body, let's say, relaxation for all this group of teachings and exchanges to work even in a more, let's say, dynamic and interactive and yet very friendly manner. So it's very interesting to do it.
This is the first workshop. This is a launch of this type of workshop, and it's interesting because generally we were used to a classroom kind of a session where we talk, and if people have questions it would be like towards the end. So it was much more kind of a controlled environment, and because this is far more interactive, then also people are talking a lot and all. So my own feedback to myself was, my God, this is all going haywire, because you have a certain intention and people are just thinking something else, and then somebody picks on that and saying something else. So what was interesting is at the end of the first session I thought to myself, my God, this is kind of a mess, right? But I was surprised to hear from people that they loved it. you know, and that they were learning a lot in a seemingly chaotic situation where it was not just a logical exposition of you know, the Vedanta that we are used to. When all these different people were expressing themselves and they had many different ideas and all that, what seemed to me as a chaotic situation happened to be a very stimulating learning situation for them.
In fact, just to add on what Neema said, I would say that the teaching itself, since it is an inquiry into realities and using a very cognitive approach, it's very well suited for this kind of format. Okay? Opening up the interactivity, of course in a controlled manner, but opening up it more than what is done traditionally. And it seems that it works in terms of the understanding, the insight the people get from all the questions and all the interactions, which are very, very meaningful and constructive.
In today's world where there are so many challenges, people are so lost, whether in terms of their personal being, in terms of economics, in terms of job, in terms of, you know, governments. There are just too many uncertainties, and every model that we were comfortable with has kind of broken down. And in this particular time where we are all kind of searching for answers, it's interesting how Indian philosophy can put our whole life into perspective. And it's not against any of those pursuits, but actually it puts those pursuits in perspective and gives you certain keys with which you can in fact even perform better in all of this. So I think it's high time that this knowledge is available and is utilized by more and more people, and people benefit from it both in their personal as well as professional life.
And I can add to that this need is just an Indian need. Of course, we need it very much in India, but the participants to our workshop here are coming from various nationalities, religious or cultural backgrounds, and it really shows the pertinence and the intrinsic validity and approach of this Indian philosophy, very universal in nature. So it's amazing. Yeah.